Are your headlights old, crusty, and faded just like mine? Well, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to restore your headlights for less than $20 in less than 30 minutes. That way, you don't have to go buy a brand new pair of headlights that could cost you anywhere from $100 to $300 or more. In my case, these are pretty expensive. Also, if you're anything like me and you want to tint these, that's my next goal. My entire plan was to tint my headlights because I don't want to go and spend $500 for a pair of tinted, smoked headlights. I could do it all by myself for about $15 or $20 and they'll look just as good, if not better. But I can't do that if they look crusty like this. Now you could see here, this is what they're supposed to look like. This is what it looks like from the factory. But when you drive around every single day and you're in the sun or in the elements such as rain and whatnot, it's going to eventually start to corrode and turn into a very faded, hazy situation. Now, yes, these are plastic, but if you follow a very simple process, you could actually turn it from faded to clear just like this. And it's basically the same process of like buffing a car. You're going to buff this and it's going to take a couple layers of plastic off, which is unnoticeable. You won't notice it at all, but it'll go back to clear. And we're going to be doing that today with the 3M Ultra Headlight Restoration Kit. Now, you don't necessarily need to use a kit like this to do it, but I've actually done the research and it's the best bang for your buck because you get all of this. Look at all the stuff that you get. You get everything you need to do this process for like $15 on Amazon versus if you go to the store and you go and buy the sandpaper and the clear coat and all the other things needed, it's gonna be like $60 worth of stuff. But if you already have everything at home, then obviously give it a go. So this kit comes with everything except for a drill. You are going to technically need a drill for this, but if you don't have a drill and you don't want to go and spend the money on it, which I can understand, if you don't need a drill, why spend the money? Well, you could just, instead of using the drill, use your hand. So the way the drill would work is you're going to connect a connector piece into there with the sandpaper, and then you're going to go back and forth with it, right? You could do the same thing with your hand. You could go back and forth. Obviously, it's going to take much more time, but if you don't want to spend the money and you have the time, you might as well do it. It just will take longer, and the results may not be as perfect. It'll still be great. They might not be as perfect. So keep that in mind. A drill is recommended, but not needed. So the first step is going to be to clean this off. Now, they recommend using a spray bottle with some soapy water. Honestly speaking, you really don't need that. I have a bottle of water that's been sitting in my garage for a few weeks and a paper towel. And yes, they do recommend paper towels. They do. Ultimately, I'm just going to wet this because all this is going to do is just get any simple debris off. It'll do the same thing that soapy water will do, but just make sure you get in these cracks and crevices. It's basically just taking any little stuff off because you might have some dead bugs or something. We're just gonna dry this off. So the next step on our list is going to be to use this tape and just go lightly around the entirety of this so that way nothing gets damaged. Doesn't need to be perfect, but that's what that is. So, as you guys can see, I've completely went around it. Now, you could do 2 layers or just 1 is fine, however you want to do it. I'm going to try to conserve as much of this as possible for now. Okay, so next up, if you're using a drill, you're going to grab your drill and you're going to open her up just like that. Spread her open, and you're going to put the drill bit in, turn it until it locks. Once you have this all connected, you're going to get the 500 sandpaper. You're going to just connect it like so that it's on there. And ultimately what you're going to do is you don't want to hold it in one spot. So don't just sit it here, let it go, and then you want to keep it going as you go. Now, when you're doing this, it's going to start looking worse before it gets better. Now, that's for anything in life. Things will always probably get worse before they get better. So just trust the process. Honestly, remember to push the limits and trust the process. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go back and forth and we're going to stay as straight as possible. If you have to go at a slight angle, that's fine, but don't sit still. One thing too, don't breathe this in. We're going to do like 3 passes and then we're going to go through and wipe it off and see how it looks. Just gonna quickly grab a paper towel, start to wipe, you really want to have this like hazy look over the whole thing. That's how you know that you did it right. And remember, they give you a bunch of these things, so if you want, switch it out. Make sure it's good as possible. You don't want to be using a crappy one. Next, we're grabbing the 800 and we're going to put that on because we're going to put in some finer scratches now to really clean this up. Ready? Let's go. Make sure that your drill is charged because mine just died. Now when it comes to doing the 800 grit, it's better to do more than not because it'll actually help make the next step easier. But I'm gonna just wipe this off, check on it, see how it's all going. For this next step, you're going to grab the 3000, you're going to attach, you're going to wipe this down, get it wet, get this wet, and then go over it. So as you can see, it's starting to make this slurry mess. That's how they refer to it. This slurry mess is exactly what you want to see. Remember to keep adding water, and you want to get that slurry mess. Keep adding water to it. Does that not look so much better already? And we're not even fully done. Look how much better this looks. This is actually insane. Now, if you're at this point and you want, you could go over it again. You know what I mean? You could do the entire process again if you feel the need. For me, I might go over a couple of these spots one more time on my own here, and then we'll get back to the process. I just did all the steps one more time just to make it be as perfect as possible. And I mean, look at the night and day difference from how it looked before to now. This is what it looked like originally. Can you see that? That's crazy. That is crazy. Now once you dry it up, yes, look at it. It looks a little hazy, but we're not done. The final step in the process is using clear coat. Okay, so we're gonna open this up. We're gonna go over both of these with this. As you are opening this up, you are not going to unfold this. You are going to use this folded end. See how this side is that way and this side is this way? You're gonna do that. So same thing on the other side and flip it over. So I just use that side, you're now going to use this side. So when you do this, little damage that's like this probably will not go away, unfortunately, but that's not something you can fix. That's literally a minor crack in the actual plastic. That's not something that can be fixed, but it's going to be way less noticeable. If you watch my video that I'm going to post called How to Tint Your Headlights, that'll completely cover any and all things like that. This was a much needed thing to do though, not only for in general, but for when you tint your headlights. So I'm probably going a little overboard with this. I just really want this to be protected. So now we're going to go through and do the exact same thing. We're going to open this up, go over this one, and then go over the other one, and then it's done. We're done. You can basically see the results. Look how amazing this looks. It looks so good. But this is going to just kind of do one final pass through. That looks amazing. Honestly, that looks so good. Look how amazing this looks. It looks brand new. All right, and with that being said, guys, we have just completely transformed this car. I mean, look how good this looks. Honestly, I didn't realize how bad they were until I did this. Now, there is a little bit of cracking, slight cracking in the plastic. That's not something you can fix, you know what I mean? But this looks insane. It looks like a brand new car, and it's just every time I do something to this car, it just looks better and better and better. And I'm very, very excited to tint this because I feel like the contrast of the blue and like a very dark, almost black tint would look so good. So if you guys are interested and you want to stay tuned to see how to tint your headlights in less than 5 minutes, I mean, it's that simple. Less than 5 minutes, you could tint your headlights and they could look professional for a fraction of the cost. Then hit subscribe and stay tuned for that. That's the next video that I'm posting. This looks insane. Like a brand new car. Don't forget to hit that like button below and to subscribe for more awesome car videos like this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.